Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is January 13th, 2025. So many things have happened in the markets since we last spoke, right? Less than 24 hours ago. But here's why I believe, as far as I'm seeing it right now, I still think that $99,000 per Bitcoin is a very likely target. As for altcoins, right, it's back to the drawing board on our Bitcoin dominance chart, but there's really good news on that front for altcoins. I'm going to show you why, and we're going to talk about the importance or significance of today, January 13th. Why this is, it would be considered an auspicious day, probabilistically, to purchase and expect a local market bottom. So we're going to talk about all that and more. If that sounds interesting to you, watch until the very end. Let's get into it. Let's start with Bitcoin on the 4-hourly time frame. Now, this is not exactly how I saw it happening, and I'm used to the unexpected. That's partially why I do this. It's a non-ending puzzle that is full of surprises, sometimes good, sometimes bad. Okay, my analysis still stands, and my analysis is what? My analysis is that looking at Bitcoin on a higher time frame, right? We were in some sort of distribution channel, and that distribution channel finally broke down when we were at 108, okay? And that breakdown resulted in the initial wave or initial break of our drawdown, of our big move, right? Called it the big crash of 2024. I called it that like a month ago, or a little bit over a month ago. From that, we got a bunch of sideways price action, and I said it was very likely that this would be a B wave that hit at this level right here at 100K ish. And I said, based off of the fact that this is more likely than not an A wave, initial break of structure, and this is impulsive, corrective impulsive, we're likely to get a B wave that comes to the between the 0.5 and the 0.618 of this A wave, and that's exactly what we got here, okay? And that was actually at around 102, if I'm not mistaken. So, so far, so good. The last bit of that analysis is that we go into our impulse, okay? So we do an ABC zigzag, and that ABC zigzag takes you all the way down in some way, shape, or form to our ultimate target of 65 to 70K. Now, I don't believe that this, well, first, I believe that we are in that final, the final portion of this larger ABC zigzag, okay? I think that we're in the C wave. And the C wave is impulsive, meaning the moves are fast and furious, and they're going to be nasty, and they're going to be bigger than people expect. They're going to go further than people expect. Already, if you look at social media in the cryptocurrency space, there's a lot of capitulation. So when you do sentiment analysis dictates that you're close to a market bottom when people throw their hands up and want to give up. And you yourself may feel like you're completely exasperated, you're just tired, and you're tired of being tired. That feeling typically comes at a bottom. But I don't think we're at the bottom people think we're at, okay? Where we're at is the bottom of, we're at a bottom, not the bottom. Currently, we're being supported by this range that's been in place for a couple weeks, right? Let's look at how long that's been. So this range, this purple range that you can see here, it's about 24 days, so almost a month. And we're being supported by the top of this multi-year channel that Bitcoin's been in. So the top of it is resistance because we're the top of it is support because we're above it. We're currently above it. You can see we grab liquidity from the top there, but still we're holding that. But I don't think we're done. Okay, although again, please take some effort to absorb the nuance of, although we're in an impulsive move to the downside, nothing goes in a straight line. So I think what you see here, if you zoom in, is the start of our impulse to the downside, a flat correction, but that right now we're in a counter wave. It's to me quite clear that we're in a counter wave, and that level right there, 99K, is very high probability. Okay, so how do I get that level? Quite simply, I took the top of this move from 102 all the way down to the orthodox low, not the nominal low, but the orthodox low. I'm not going to get into what the orthodox low is. You can look it up. It's the low that you use to calculate the move, the low that you use to calculate the span of a move, and that you base your Fibonacci retracement levels on. You don't just calculate any old low, and it doesn't change with the wind. It's the end of the actual move, and then after the orthodox low, you put in a counter correction. And I think we're in a counter correction, and this is very reminiscent or very characteristic of a counter correction, judging by how it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. And we know any correction, the final move is impulsive. So this correction that we're currently in, that I speculate goes to 99K, kind of looks like this: A, B, C. Okay, it's a flat correction. When you dumb it down or you simplify it, it just looks, on the smaller time frames, really nasty, really complicated, quite confusing. But I think it's simple. It's an initial break and then a 3-wave counter, and that's it. Once we get to that level, we continue. All in all, what I believe we're gonna get is a series of these zigzags, and we've seen it in Bitcoin's price history. I'm not going to prove it to you because I don't want to make these videos too long. But if you go and do back testing of Bitcoin in really strong bear market declensions, bear market drawdowns, it has a tendency to favor, for some reason, I think it's chaos, because it's maximal chaos. Not just a straight line dump, right? Or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave dump. We're going to get some version of that, but you have zigzags and double zigzags, which are quite rare. So I think we're getting a zigzag here, and then I think you get another zigzag in the intermediate, and then finally your final move. So I think we're going to get a double zigzag, and I've seen a double zigzag before, and it kills pretty much everybody, because people who want to go short, hard to trade. It's not easy. Even though you know it's going down the distance, you're going to have to deal, more likely than not, let me show you what it looks like, with a high degree of probability based off of what we've seen now. The fact that we are currently, more likely than not, in a zigzag. Sorry, it's a bit much. Okay, this is our first zigzag. We're likely to get another zigzag here, and then finally ended up there. Sorry, let me just draw this out, with, because I'm not drawing it very accurately. So here's what I think it's going to look like, and I drew this before on our previous what am I doing? Let me just do it with the with this tool, the path tool. Okay, here's what I think. So I think Bitcoin to the downside is going to look something like this. And again, this is speculative. My higher time frame analysis, my larger analysis, is that Bitcoin is targeting between 65 and 70K to the downside. And now I'm going into the minutia of how it's likely to matriculate to the downside. Okay, it's kind of extra. I think we come up here, we put in another zigzag, right? And that throws a ton of people off. And then finally, this is going to be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the quick move down. Let me close it. So something like that. And don't pay attention too much to the time, because I'm not really focusing on the time right there. But that is what I'm seeing. And look how messy that looks. It's not easy. This is what I see in Bitcoin, and this is why trading is so freaking hard. Even if you know it's going down, try to short that on high leverage and see what happens. You know, it's just, there's so many opportunities to get caught, both on the high side and the low side, both by shorting too close to the action or longing too close. Do you see what I mean? This is what I'm seeing with Bitcoin. Right now, I think we put this move in, right? It's almost like Bitcoin's on nothing easy. Yeah, I'm going to make a lot of distance, but you're going to have to be damn good to make this trade and stay in the trade. I'm going to do my darndest to shake you out. And this is kind of what I'm seeing. I've seen it in the past. I like this particular matriculation because you look at this. So on the 4 hourly time frame, I think you can see it. Look at this level. So we hit this level, right? This 102 level when you put in that B wave. But look at this level right here. This level that we're expecting, this 99K level. Look how many times price respected it. Remember, 99K was a staunch resistance on the up on the way up, because the psychological resistance and the material resistance that we looked at from the multi-year channel that Bitcoin's been in for about 10 years is at 100K. So 99K quite logically was staunch resistance. Because we lost that important level, it's just, it makes more sense to come up there, not just, you know, looking on the small time frames and considering the zigzag, but also the fact that 99K is so important, and we spent so much time there, there's so much liquidity there because so many people were trading at 99K. Money, price, which is money, like water, like electricity, likes to go to, you know, take the path of least resistance where more of it is. A lot of money exists at 99K. Expect that to be retested one more time. So I'm still on my 99K trade. I know some people are making fun of me. I don't mind. I don't mind. Hey, if you want to troll me, I don't care. You know, this business is tough. It's tough no matter if you're a bull or a bear or consider yourself neither. Trolling does nothing. It doesn't make it any easier to be profitable. It takes a lot of concentration. It takes a lot of diligence. And I would just suggest not wasting your energy trolling anybody and just focusing and trying to be as good as you can be at doing whatever you need to do to be profitable trading, because it's tough. So 99K, I think, is a high degree of probability. Coming back down, I think, again, you're going to have to retest this lost level of support. Let's look right here. We're actually being supported by previous resistance, right? We lose the level, we retest it. It's the top of a multi-year channel. So I like that double zigzag for those reasons. And then from here, there's no reason but to dump. So that gives you your double zigzag again of this kind. So I don't know what you think about that. Leave your thoughts in the comments, but I really like that read on Bitcoin's matriculation to the 65-70K region. Now, as for timing, today is important because today is the astrological full moon. I don't know why, but I was thinking that would be the 15th. I don't know, for some reason I put it in my head. Full moon 15th, full moon 15th, but it's not. Today is the 13th of January 2025, the full moon. Statistically speaking, there's over 100 years of data on this. Like serious universities and nonprofits and governments have done research on this, and the correlation between lunar events, so full moons, new moons specifically, and market moves. And they found, and you can look this up, don't take my word for it, do your own research, that full moons represent statistically, with to a high degree of confidence, at a non-random level of statistical significance. Okay, full moons represent local market bottoms, new moons represent local market tops, and the time frame is not just the day of, but 0 to 3 days after the lunar event. So today is day 0, the 13th. You would count 0, 13th, 14th, 15th, 0, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. So the 16th would be what? Friday, Saturday, something like that. So you basically have 0 to 3 days from the date of the event to bottom or top. Top if it's a new moon, bottom is a full moon. So we're at the full moon. And I was thinking, keeping this in mind, I was like, oh, I wouldn't be surprised if we hit the bottom of this big crash at the full moon. But look, this is, and again, I kind of hate it and love it. I hate how unpredictable the markets are, and I love it, I guess, because it keeps it interesting, and maybe that's why it really keeps my interest, because it's like I'm perpetually chasing something I can never have, which is perfect mastery of what the market's doing at all times. And I'm going to keep trying. So I thought that we would have been down here by the full moon, but we're not. But we made a bottom here. I expect this in other ways, I expect where we're at right now, for that reason, additionally, to be a local market bottom. Not the bottom, but a local market bottom. Okay? On the small time frames, what am I seeing? On the small time frames, whoops, what is going on? Let's go on the hourly time frame. Given that this is a local market bottom, quite likely, and let's hide this because it's messy. I feel like it's more likely than not we're getting some sort of mini consolidation range here before the move up. And you can see this in altcoins as well. So after a big declension, after a big move up or a big move down, right? A big pump or a big dump, you have to put in some consolidation before changing direction. So that's what I think we're currently doing. We're setting up a range of consolidation for finally that move. And this is where you see your 0 to 3 days, I believe, that mini range. Because you're not just going to go and pivot on a dime and put the move in. That's very rare. It happens sometimes, but it's very rare. Most of the time you see consolidation before the actual move. Okay, so that's what I think. I think you should expect a bit of sideways in this range before you go 99, and altcoins are doing the same thing. And in that time, I guess the best thing to do is set yourself up, right? Recognize the opportunity, not just in Bitcoin, but specifically in altcoins, which I'm going to segue to, and get in. Because look, when we're looking at Bitcoin dominance, and we have to go back to the drawing board on this. This was, kind of a nasty little trick that was put in. I saw this yesterday and I was like, ooh, I'm very excited about Bitcoin dominance, because I'm seeing that we are at some sort of, let's just put the fibs in so you can see what I'm talking about, because I erased it. When I go back to the drawing board, I just erase everything and I try not to let my mind be influenced by my previous analysis. That's what I do when something didn't work. In any case, I saw, where did I see it? I think I did I do this? No, I think I did it like this or something like that. Yeah, that's what I had it at. I put it like this, and I was like, oh, we're kind of stuck under the phi ratio, and I'm seeing some sort of distributive move at the phi ratio. I'm expecting the move down, right? And that's why the last video was titled Sunday alt season question mark, or whatever the title of the last video was. It wasn't Sunday alt season. It was like whatever, but it was specific to yesterday, and I thought yesterday we would probably get something into today, but then obviously we got a move down in the entire market. So I was like, what's going on? And the fact that Bitcoin dominance broke up from here, I was like, wait, all right, I thought we were kind of done. So that's why I went back to the drawing board and looking at it. So the thing that I still hold on to is the fact that whenever this does turn around, this will likely be my take profit for alts for the first move, okay? Second thing is, we're still at high time frame resistance. We're still at high time frame resistance. What you still notice in the Bitcoin dominance chart is that we broke down, we retested. Whatever you see here is some sort of pivot, some sort of distribution, and whenever it finishes, then we're done. So it's all a question of trying to suss out what is going on in that portion of the chart, of the indicator, okay? So thus far, I'm looking at it like this. Wave or initial break, initial counter. Secondary break, secondary counter. I think this all is a final break, and all of this is a final counter. As such, this final counter has to be a flat correction. It can't not be a flat correction because it's already burst past the 786, the 68, the 618, and the 786. So this is a flat correction, and it can go all the way to the 1618. So whatever this does, it can go all the way here. This is the final level of resistance, but whatever Bitcoin dominance does, it matriculates up here, more likely than not rejects at or around this line, and then we can expect our alt season, or the beginning of our alt season for those specific altcoins that are on support. And let's just look at a few of those, the ones that I keep talking about. I know some of you are invested in them, as am I, and we're just champing at the bit for a move. So Balancer, for instance, these are still legendary entries, and I just hope that you realize, I know, everybody's a perfectionist these days, but like, look, you've spent years consolidating and going down, like 1,500 days consolidating and going down, and this is the end of it. Okay, it's a question of days, not months, not weeks. You put in a consolidation here, broke out from it, you came back to retest the top resistance of that consolidation as support. This move is quite clear. So whatever you do here, and this is on the weekly time frame, mind you, whatever you do here, at some point, more likely than not, your next move is up here. This is the next logical resistance. That is a very nice 150% move. So whether you got in at the very bottom of this candle or the midline of this candle or that candle, it doesn't really matter. Your entries are elite anywhere in this region. Okay? They're elite, not good, elite. That would be considered a good entry on spot. That would be considered a good entry on spot. So just keep it in perspective, because the numbers, the gains these kinds of altcoins make in the bull run, you'll then understand why your entry was elite, and you won't care that you got in at 260 versus 230 or whatever. It doesn't matter. Your entry's elite. Hold it. You're fine. Don't look at the dollar amount, because your earning potential far outweighs the measly decline of the dollar amount of your initial investment at this point in time. Let's look at one more and let's get out of here. Litentry I talked about a bunch. Okay, it's the same idea, right? High time frame. You're looking at something that is on historical support, and this is another reason why I'm saying whatever happens in Bitcoin, the more likely than not scenario is that these pump first before the big drop in Bitcoin. It's like there's nowhere else for these to go. There's no down. You can't go down below hell. Like there's this, obviously they say there are levels of hell, but like you're in hell. You've been in hell for, since May of 22. You're at support. Buy on support, sell at resistance. Quite simple. And you're buying at support anywhere in this channel, right? It's pretty much been at support for many, many, many years. But now it's really interesting how you did a consolidation, you broke up, and now you're retesting the top of that consolidation once again as support. Top resistance as support. Your next likely target is up here to 300%, right? That's the next likely resistance, the bottom of this, right, counter, the base of this counter wave. So I'm still, I understand it's frustrating, but I mean that's kind of the business. Like we wait 1,500 days just for our investments to play out, and some of us have been around for that much time, if not longer. So if you got in anywhere around here, your entries are elite. If you're on leverage, just be careful. I mean, this is all part of the game, but you will be greatly rewarded. So that's it from me. In the interest of not making this too long, I'm going to cut it. Hope everyone's well. Take care. Let me just say, for those of you looking for altcoin analyses, I don't do individual altcoin analyses anymore. Now that the bull market has come, I'm exclusively doing altcoin analyses for crypto portfolio consultation and mentorship clients. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you got value, consider tipping me through Venmo, Cash App, or Litecoin, all at the pinned comment below. And do consider the crypto portfolio consultation and mentorship service. Very helpful, very useful. And last but not least, check out my partner KCEX if you want to trade, and you get up to $1,000 free in bonus just for signing up. So check that out. Take care, guys.